Hello, Guardians. So about a month ago, I did a video about kind of a review of Shaxx weekly bounties, asking the question, are they really worth it? In an effort to be a little more precise, over the course of, well, about a month and a half now, about a month, I've been recording all of the rewards I get for doing these bounties. And what I can say pretty definitively is that if you're doing it for the reward, it's probably not worth it. As you can see from the spreadsheet I'm putting up on the screen, the rewards for pre-Age of Triumph and really post-Age of Triumph amount to about the same thing. There really hasn't been any change to the rotation of what rewards are in that little random reward giver thing that Bungie has going on. I completed 19 bounties. I missed a week with my Titan due to real life. But 19 bounties completed. I now am the proud owner of 6 Hopscotch Pilgrims. That gets kind of a bit redundant after a while, especially when you already have 3 really good ones. So 4 2020 AMR 7s, a couple of Steel Oracles, again, something that most of us already have, Matador 64s. Really the standout here was the Hexcaster. Was a pretty good roll, and I kept it for a little while, tried it out in the Crucible. In fact, it was a great roll for that particular weapon. But in the end, it's useless. So I ended up getting rid of it. Unending Deluge can be a pretty good heavy weapon for you if you still need one. If you don't have one, they are a great machine gun. And I want to say this one was a pretty good roll, and I kept it. So overall, really probably not worth it if you're doing it for the rewards. Now, having said that, on the other hand, if you're doing it to rank up your character in the Crucible, well, then it can be pretty useful, particularly if you're using Crucible reputation boosters. I think you can just about rank up a notch if you do the bounty with the booster on and complete a few of the dailies as you go. So again, if you're trying to rank up, it's worth it. But otherwise, overall, it's really not. Having said all that, I will say that Crucible Quartermaster Bounties, which have reappeared with the advent of Age of Triumph, are, I would say, absolutely worth doing. So here, unlike the Shaxx bounties, you're guaranteed a legendary. And in fact, the variety is pretty impressive. So as you take a look at the spreadsheet I'm putting up on the screen, here are the rewards that I've gotten for doing the bounties thus far. Again, real life intervened and I missed my week with the Titan and a couple of the other bounties for my Hunter and my Warlock. But I mean, still, having missed all that, we're talking 21 bounties completed out of a possible 30, right? Great way to pick up a year 2 or a year 3 weapon. You can see the roll up by primary, secondary, and heavy in the purple section. In terms of rolls, these have been somewhat varied, as you might expect. The best rolls were the B29 Party Favor had a pretty decent roll. Very good roll, in fact, but unfortunately where that pulse rifle is in the meta right now wasn't worth keeping. Hawksaw had a pretty good roll, and I have kept that. I already had a couple from year 2. I thought this one might be a little bit better, so I kept it, and I'm still sort of evaluating that. 77 Wizard was pretty good. Only one of the 2 Havoc Pigeons was any good, sadly. Can never have enough Havoc Pigeons, I guess. Anton's Rule, that was pretty good. Sadly, I did not keep it because, frankly, I needed legendary marks at the time more than I needed another sidearm. So, worst rolls, most notably, was Last Extremity. Both of them were absolute garbage. And I was really disappointed because I thought, oh, wow, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to be rocking a Last Extremity, in the Crucible or even in PvE. And they were no good for anything. So they ended up as legendary marks. So at the end of the day, it's a grind because the roles are so varied. But with 5 bounties per week and 5 per character, I mean that's 15 legendary weapons a week that you can try to grind through. So I would say definitely the Crucible Quartermaster Bounties are worth doing, especially now with Iron Banner kicking off. There's really no excuse not to do them. And with that said, I guess you could probably knock out the at least the control bounty from Shaxx. I mean, who knows? You might get an exotic out of it. Other than that, I don't know if I'm going to do the supremacy one. I think I've pretty much made the point here with the analysis thus far. So to wrap things up, absolutely go out there, get those Crucible Quartermaster bounties, and make sure you do them within the week. They will carry over into the next week, so you're gonna miss out, right? Like, so if it's the same bounty in the next week, you don't get 2 of them, right? So it's best to knock them out within the 7-day period if you can. Okay, good hunting out there with Iron Banner. Can't wait to go see Lord Aphrodite and get my bounties on and try to get up to rank 5 for the Age of Triumph book, which is weird. That's one of the things that didn't carry over as something you had already done in year 2, having done that, about 5 times, 6 times now. So, okay. Best of luck out there in Iron Banner, and we'll see y'all later. Thanks.